Okay, so this is my studio desk. Now, I'm not going to talk about everything on my studio desk. I'm just going to talk about some of the main things I have. I have changed a lot of things since the 2023 video. Let's start with this. This is the Apple Studio display. I got this back in, I think late, actually sometime in 2023 I got this. But this is one of the best monitors that I ever owned. 27 inches. The resolution is great. It's very similar to the Retina display that is on the MacBook Pro, which is what I have. But overall, it's been great for me. And on top of here, couple of items. The BenQ screen bar Halo. It has a light on the front and the back. And also, it has this remote down here. It's great to be able to like tap on the remote to be able to turn it on and off. I can be able to have various controls for different light settings, the brightness, and also the tone of the light. On top of that, something I got last year, the Insta360 Link 2 webcam. I got this as another camera to be able to add to my video making setup. I'm going to pull out in a minute, and you're going to see a pair of studio monitors. These are the iLoud Precision 6 studio monitors from IK Multimedia. These are premium studio monitors without the premium price. By far, these are the best speakers I've ever gotten. These speakers are so good that I don't need a subwoofer like I did with the other one. These are remarkable. Over here, this is the Apple 14-inch MacBook Pro M1 Max chip. I am so happy with this computer. This is the hub of my entire studio desk. This has been a super computer. I had a 15-inch MacBook Pro, the 2013 model back in the day, and I can tell you this laptop runs rings around it. I don't have to worry about system overload messages, don't have to worry about the rise in general room temperature, throttling this machine to the point where I can't use it. So many things. I'm going to zoom in down here. Have recommendations from several people to be able to upgrade to an RME interface. RME is a company based in Germany. It's got really quiet noise floor. It has digital audio conversion that is pro level. It's just been a really enjoyable audio interface to use, the best one I've gotten. By the way, forgot to talk about this. Logic Pro, this is my DAW choice. I've used this the longest and I still use it. I have no reason to be able to change DAWs, although I do have the latest version of Ableton Live. I'm sure I'll dig in it at some point, but it's not going to in any way pull me away from Logic. Logic can do so much and it's so versatile. Also, using the keyboard shortcuts, the trackpad, that and some of the devices that tied into this, which I'll also cover in a minute. Tied into Logic Pro is just makes it for a super great combo as far as workflow goes. All right, so I'm going to go down here right now, and I'm going to show you something that I've gotten recently. The Allo Audio X1 headphones, and it's from a company called Allo, based in Slovenia. They're a boutique headphone manufacturer. When I was enrolled in the music production and artist development course with Red Rackham and company, several people talked about this. I think some of them actually had the previous version or previous Allo headphones. Allo, as a boutique company, they've only made 2 headphones prior to this one. And these are honest studio headphones. I've never had headphones like this. It's pro level. I put them on the first day I got it. The sound are really honest. You could be able to tell where sounds are in the spectrum. You could be able to tell the panning. You can tell the stereo spread or the narrowing of the stereo field. It's hard to describe except to say that when I put them on, I almost feel like I can be able to trust these when it comes to making mixing decisions. Combined with this monitors here, it's got a 1-2 punch. So these are tools to go with Logic Pro. The Launchpad Pro Mark III. I got this shortly around the 10.6 release of Logic Pro. In the 10.5 version, where they put out loads of new features, including Live Loops, which is similar to Session View clip-based setup in Ableton Live. Live Loops is pretty much that way too, except it is a little different. Instead of it calling clips, it's called cells, and you can be able to create and trigger them off of here. When 10.5 came out, they supported the Launchpad X and also the Launchpad Mini. They still have that support today, but with the 10.6 release, they full on support Launchpad Pro. Also here, this is what you're looking at now. This is the Panorama CS12, and this is from the company Nectar. Nectar has been known for making keyboards and controllers that have deep integration with several DAWs that they support. And one of the DAWs that they've always supported was Logic Pro. And with this deep integration, it's not just play and record and stop and rewind and fast forward. The theme is that they have deep plugin integration. So the company will map knobs and buttons for all of the stock plugins, both effects and instruments, and you can be able to access them straight from here without having to do it yourself. Though you can customize each of those plugins too. So not just the stock plugins, but third-party plugins as well. The CS stands for channel strip, so you highlight a track one at a time, and you're able to use the fader, and then the pan knob, and then all these controls down here. And over here, probably reason for the 12 is the 12 knobs that are here as well. We're going to go over here, and this is something that belongs, or I guess I can say ties in with the RME interface. This is also an RME accessory, the ARC USB remote controller. Talk about the accessibility part of it. I use this all the time. It is attached to the RME interface, and you can customize the buttons on here to be able to do things like set your speaker for be able to select the speaker or select your headphone and change the volume on both of them. And I'm able to map it so that I get both stereo and mono on both of them. There's a software called Total Mix FX, which is a console software that's a bridge between the hardware and this. You don't have to have this remote control, but I tell you, from an accessibility standpoint, this is outstanding, especially since the screen on the RME interface is really tiny. It's super sharp, but too tiny for my eyes. Over here, this is what I originally had before I got the CS12, and I didn't have it for very long, but I just bought this back. This is the X Touch 1 MIDI controller from Behringer. On here is a plastic template interface for Logic, and they also come with additional templates that you can be able to take off and put on. But the main reason why I have this hookup is this knob right here. I have it right now as just a USB MIDI controller to work with Logic, and it's helpful, especially when I'm testing out automation and also recording automation. I feel with the big knob, I have greater control and flexibility. This is the Magic Keyboard. Now, I know Apple has the Magic Keyboard for the iPad, but they actually had that name for the keyboards that they had, the extended keyboards that you can be able to see here. It's Bluetooth. It is an older keyboard because there's a lightning connector on it as opposed to USB-C, which is what they have now for this. And also this is the Magic Trackpad. I've actually used the original Magic Trackpad from 2011, and I'm a sucker for the trackpads. And finally, at least for right now, let's talk about this keyboard here. Now, this is an upgrade, actually, from the keyboard I originally had. I had the previous version of this keyboard, the Complete Control Mark II keyboard, and it had a split screen. It also had it so that not only does it work with its complete control software, but also with the machine software. So the keyboard and the software were pretty tied up toward one another. Now, this is the Control Mark III. They've taken the complete name off and just called the Control S series. There's the 49, 61, and 88 key versions. This is the screen they have now. It's a single screen as opposed to the two screens, the split screen that have. Really sharp screen, really bright. Even for my low vision, this is one major change on the keyboard. The other major change is that there is a computer on the keyboard. This keyboard it got announced 2 years ago, back in October of 20, actually September of 2024, 23, excuse me, was when it was announced. Since the release of the keyboard, they have added some features that were in the software of Complete Control. Now, on hardware, what it means, without going too deep into the weeds right now, what it means is that some of the things that you used to have to use the software for, because it's on the keyboard, you have much greater control over software, not just the supported NKS software that Native Instruments have. That is the Native Instruments software as well as its NKS third-party partners. Now, you can be able to have greater control with third-party software and with stock plugins inside your DAW, at least the ones they support. It's a game changer for me as far as these accessibility features. I'll talk about it in a future video. Now, that is my current studio setup. I think that will do for now.